Just how much weight can you lose during training? Which champions do you think would have a higher chance of performing better if they changed weight classes? These are important questions UFC fighters need to ask themselves before deciding on their respective decision. A lot of the time, their choices are on how much success they accumulate in the ring. Here's some UFC fighters who changed their weight class with a lot of hard work, as well as some other UFC news. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. First, we have Dustin Poirier. In the UFC, some competitors soared to new heights when they finally shifted to the weight class that was the right fit for them all along. Dustin Poirier took the UFC by storm right from the very beginning. In fact, we saw what he was capable of in the promotional debut. Despite being a short notice replacement, the Diamond came out on top against featherweight contender Josh Grisby at UFC 125 before moving forward to shock everyone by having a 4-fight win streak, already making his place in the title picture. But Poirier's title dreams were ruined by Chang Sung Jung. Poirier kept his position as a featherweight standout, but the losses to Cub Swanson and Conor McGregor kept him from reaching the top as he'd wanted. Poirier grew tired of his average performance against the other top featherweights. In 2015, he made what was arguably the best decision of his career and moved up to 155 pounds. The Diamond found things turned around now that he was a lightweight. Going on to get 4 wins after a defeat to Michael Johnson, Poirier redeemed himself by defeating lightweight stars Anthony Pettis, Justin Gaethje, and Eddie Alvarez to achieve a title shot. He finally got UFC gold when he competed against Max Holloway for the interim UFC lightweight title. Even though he couldn't take on Khabib Nurmagomedov, he's one of the best lightweights in MMA. Next is Valentina Shevchenko. Kyrgyzstan's Valentina Shevchenko had her first UFC fight as a short notice replacement. She proved herself and won against Sarah Kaufmana in that match. In her second appearance in the UFC, Shevchenko went up against future women's GOAT Amanda Nunes, but was defeated in the promotion. But she redeemed herself by scoring back-to-back wins against ex-UFC bantamweight title holder Holly Holm and Juliana Pena, earning herself a rematch against Nunes. However, Shevchenko yet again lost against Liana after 2 defeats by Nunes. Shevchenko finally decided to do a trial run in another division by dropping to flyweight. The results were instant. She won against Priscilla Cachoeira in her first match after shifting to another division and got the vacant UFC women's flyweight title against Joanna Jędrzejczyk in 2018. So the decision to shift her division really paid off for her. Now, Robert Whittaker. Whittaker started off strong when he defeated Colton Smith by TKO in his first ever post-TUF appearance. But the Reaper seemed to have hit a plateau when he lost to fellow Court McGee. That too in a unanimous decision, and things weren't exactly helped when he was shortly after KO'd by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He somehow bounced back against Mike Rhodes, but the real game changer for Bobby Knuckles was when he shifted upwards to middleweight in 2014. He may have seemed undersized at 185 pounds. Removing the weight cut did a lot of good for Whittaker. He was on fire with 7 consecutive victories that paved the way to his interim middleweight title win against Yoel Romero in 2017. Although he was defeated by Israel Adesanya in 2019, Whittaker has made a strong comeback as the top-ranked middleweight after his remarkable wins over Kelvin Gastelum, Darren Till, and Jared Cannonier. Next up is Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira has always stood out, but never really seen by most as a championship material fighter. From 2010 to 2017, Oliveira earned 10 wins, 7 losses, and 1 no contest. His record was somewhat good, but it wasn't anything that would get him a title shot. He chose to move up to lightweight in 2017. While he didn't instantly find things turning around, eventually he began to move up the ranks. After a terrible TKO defeat by Paul Felder, he went on in an 8-fight win streak that resulted in a championship bout against Michael Chandler for the empty UFC lightweight title. It took him 28 fights and 11 years to make it to his first title shot, but his hard work finally paid off when he got the throne at UFC 262. Now we have Mighty Mouse Johnson. Mighty Mouse started his UFC career as a bantamweight. He won against Norifumi Yamamoto and Miguel Torres to get a title shot against then-champion Dominic Cruz. But the Dominator was too big, too quick, and too strong long for Johnson, as Craze held on to his UFC bantamweight crown in a lopsided unanimous decision. Things turned around for Johnson when the UFC started the 125-pound division. The UFC held a single elimination tournament, with the new flyweight championship on the line. Johnson earned the title of inaugural flyweight champion after winning against Joseph Benavidez via split decision. Mighty Mouse then continued to have a legendary 5-year reign with 11 successful title defenses. Though there were some losses against Henry Cejudo and Andreu Moraes late in his career, he's still an all-time great. Next on the list is Dan Hooker. Following a sad result versus Islam Makhachev a few weeks back at UFC 267, Hooker gave us hints that a comeback to featherweight may be next for him. Now he's already done the next step, making a test cut to 146 pounds, and posting the clip online, he shocked the entire MMA community when he uploaded a video while standing on a scale that came to 146 pounds. That's a weight he hasn't been on since 2016, when he was a featherweight with a 3-3 UFC record. Then he moved to 155, and just like that, going 7-1 over his next 8 fights. Now, the move to lightweight. There's a reason the Hangman moved up to lightweight. The man is 6 feet tall, and he objectively performed better at 155 pounds. He went just 3-3 at featherweight, failing to lock down any real momentum or any real important matches. At the same time, he won 7 of 8 to spark off his lightweight career, taking out big players like Gilbert Burns and Paul Felder. Still, if Hooker has a new method that lets him make weight without going through any major drawbacks, perhaps it'll work better this time around. Next, Conor McGregor offers an update on his possible UFC return. Following the terrible fracture he went through against Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor has been doing his best to fully recover and come back. Initially, it was thought that McGregor would take more than 1 year to return from such a devastating injury, but time has worked miracles for the UFC legend. That and a decent, lengthy recovery process. In fact, Conor wanted to update his Twitter followers. He chose to reply to many of their questions and maybe even give a date for his return. Conor really dove into it with all the fans through the #AskNotorious hashtag. This is what Conor posted on Twitter. The fibula is fully healed. The medial side of the tibia is developing nice calluses also. It is just patience now for it to form down through the bone to the lateral side of the tibia where the larger break occurred. It's getting better. Patience will win this race for me. I celebrate this every day. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's stronger I am getting. I cannot wait to wrap this steel bar in my leg across the neck of a future opponent. I am counting down by the seconds until I get to launch this weapon. I will be full mixed martial arts sparring by April. Easily. By then, a return will be imminent. But I must be patient. I will beat this. Amongst the huge list of questions he had from fans, Conor replied to everything by showing respect to Sean O'Malley and Michael Chandler, to also offer his take on the second fight between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. This is what he had to say. Thought Colby lumped him up nice last fight. Finished stronger. Without that second round knockdown, it's Colby's fight IMO. If even still, I see many holes, as well as a suspect dome. I fancy it greatly for the treble. Being this active on social media, can we be hopeful of a comeback anytime soon? Kamaru Usman wants rematch. Kamaru Usman would really like to get the one loss of his professional career back. Seems hard for fans to imagine, but Kamaru Usman has been beaten before in his MMA career. Even though we've never seen that happen inside the UFC octagon, it did happen in the Nigerian American's second professional fight in 2013 to a fighter by the name Jose Caceres. Usman has analyzed in great detail how the loss went down. Not just once either. Including an appearance on the Full Send podcast, he spoke of how overconfidence and inexperience let him suffer defeat. He also admitted that surrendering, rather than being choked out, was the best way to make sure he'd be allowed to fight again in a few weeks and make the income he was in need of at the time. He wants a chance to make things right and take off this one blip on his otherwise spotless career. Alright, that's it for today. Leave a comment down below and let us know what you think. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye!